Hello everybody and welcome to MLG TV. We've got a fantastic series lined up for you here. We've got none other than Liquid Tyler spawning as the Blue Protoss. He is down one game to DRG, otherwise known as Dong Regu. I'm Tumba. Co-casting with me for this series will be Dark and Light.
That's right, Tumba, and as you said, Tyler, he is down one game, so he's going to have to make something happen here if he wants to pull this out against DRG. That Templar Blink Stalker build he came out with last game didn't work out for him too well, so he's going to have to make something new happen here, I think. I think DRG has that particular build locked down. Yeah,
I was expecting some sort of Charge Lot Archon initially when I had seen that build. The Blink caught me off guard. It must have been in response to those roaches, so he could go ahead and be a little more cost-effective with his stalkers. Of course, you can't.
Absolutely, yeah.
You can't kill what you can't catch. But as you can see, take a look at this, Dark, and actually, Tyler putting down a pylon on the high ground again. So he is going to opt not to forge fast expand.
Yeah, and on this map, I question that decision a little bit. Again, forge fast expand, really easy to do on Shakura's plateau. You can get that wall off down in front of the ramp pretty easily to take that expansion. So bit of a questionable choice by him, but I mean, Tyler, he's unconventional, as we've said before, and he works out for him sometimes. He did get through that open bracket without taking many losses, so nice by him.
Absolutely, and you can see this Slover Lord making its way over very, very slowly to the Protoss base, going to spy exactly where he is. And I have to say, you know, checking back in with DRG, he got his extractor going down, so it looks like he's going to be going for that early speed, that speedling expand.
Yeah, once again, going to be opting for that speeding expand, getting those guys in gas now, going to be opting for that expansion on 21. Again, pretty standard build out of most Zerg in this matchup. You can secure that expansion pretty safely, and it tends to work out for you.
Absolutely, and Dark, and I have to bring this up and get your opinion on it. Of course, we're seeing sort of a disparity in skill gap here between Koreans and foreigners, and I feel like Koreans are really doing so much better in these tournaments, but I attribute it more to they have a bit better of a setup, I feel, in Korea. Of course, they've been doing it a lot longer competitively as a professional scene. I feel like they've got the added benefit of coaches and strict managers, as well as team houses, to kind of foster that competitive spirit, that competitive drive amongst each other. Whereas foreigners, the foreign scene doesn't quite have that yet.
Yeah, and to get a little bit political, I feel like they have more motivation. They know this is their job, they can't screw it up, and for that reason they put in all the practice that they need to, and it obviously shows, as we've seen in this tournament specifically.
Absolutely. So I have to say, though, as a fan of foreigners, I'm interested to see exactly what Tyler does versus DRG. Of course, he wants this game very badly. He's highly competitive, has got plenty of wins in Brood War, is going to go ahead and look to mirror that success in StarCraft 2. So I have to admit, I'm a bit partial to Tyler here, being a fan of foreigners.
Absolutely, yeah. No, he will send these forlings down, take out this pylon blocking the natural base, and this is why Speedling Expand is so good. You can easily take out that pylon there and take your natural relatively easily. So that's really one of the main benefits of opening with this instead of trying to go hatch first.
Yeah, so Tyler not opting, as we've said many times, for that Forge Fast Expand. Now, to touch on Forge Fast Expand a little bit, for some of you that may not know, what you'd like to do is you want to get your Forge down in an early Nexus, even Nexus first, on this map as possible, around 16 supply. You want to add a Forge, some cannons, Gateway, of course, Cybernetics, and from there you can go a couple different ways. Some people choose to go DTs, other people choose to go air, and get a quick Void Ray over to the third, which you want to deny from the Zerg as soon as possible. It's usually the most undefended and the easiest to take. Sometimes you can even kill it outright. However, Tyler wants to come with something a little more different, it looks like. It is that 2-gate expand again. So obviously he feels he missed the timing, I think, Dark, in that first game. So I'm going to really be interested to see exactly if he comes out with the same exact build and favors Archons again, or where he's going to go with this.
Yeah, once again, favoring this 2-gate, obviously his opener of choice. We'll have to see how it works out for him. I really feel like the goal of this is to put on some early aggression, but he's really just hanging back, establishing that natural base, feeling that he cannot make any aggression happen for now, and that's a smart move by him. I know DRG, he favors a lot of early lings, so it could have been trouble for him, could have possibly lost all these critical sentries if he did decide to move out.
Absolutely, and right now, as we can see, Tyler is getting that expansion down, is getting the Nexus. Once again, does have the sentries out, so this looks very similar to that first build.
Yeah, it is shaping up to be something very similar. We'll have to see if he makes any changes due to how, I'd say, negatively effective it was in that first game.
Well, don't forget, though, he was caught out of position. His army, let's be a little bit fair to Tyler.
Fair enough,
his army was caught out of position. However, DRD did sort of have the drop on him, no pun intended. But
Yeah.
he had the right unit composition. Look at this. Greed DRG once again taking a third, a relatively early third, but that's exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah, that's typically what you see on this map, and it's going to probably work out for him. Again, really the only way to punish this is with that Stargate opening after you open Forge Fast Expand, and that is definitely not what Tyler is going to be opting for.
Okay,
Looking
so
back... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I have to say, it's critical, though, that Tyler gets some kind of timing attack within the next 2 minutes. We're in 7 minutes, 32 seconds of game time here, and I just feel it's critical that you have got to get some pressure on the Zerg before the 10-minute mark, or you're in a lot of trouble.
Absolutely, yeah, and we know Tyler, he is a big fan of these 2 base timings, and would not be surprised to see another one throwing down that Twilight Council now. So opting for some kind of tech out of that, possibly the Templar tech again. It is obviously what he opted for last game.
I feel like a 2 base timing would be just brilliant for Tyler, simply because I think that he knows DRG is going to go for that third. So if he hits him with a strong 2 base, maybe into his natural, or maybe straight for the less defended third, then making his way into the natural, he can inflict a lot of damage on DRG and maybe take this game with a 2 base all in.
Absolutely, yeah, and I'd like to see something other than the Storm play. This time, DRG is favoring some very heavy Roach play, opting to stray away from that Baneling tech. But it looks like there will be another Templar Archives coming down from Liquid Tyler. We'll have to see how he utilizes that particular tech structure.
I simply can't get away from Storm myself. I hate to say it. Maybe I'm a big fan of the Star Wars Stormtrooper. I can't tell you, but when I see that Storm button, I've just got to take it, Dark. And I know you're a fan of Star Wars as well, but got to do it, man. Got to do it. It's just, even if I see Roaches, I say, well, you know what? It's one heck of an upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty good against Roaches, but typically you need them later game. You don't want to be opening up with Templar against Roaches, but looks like he will be favoring Archons this time around. Not going to research Storm, going to be getting Archons, and we may be seeing this Archon Zealot build you were referring to earlier.
Yeah, he has not researched charges yet, so I'm not exactly sure what he's waiting for, but getting a lot of gates. So this is more indicative of some kind of 2 base timing. No intention really of going to Robotech just yet. So this could really hurt DRG if he doesn't prepare for it. And it's, again, we're now at that 10-minute mark in game time that I was talking about. And I have to be a little bit concerned that if Tyler doesn't make his move now, he's going to run out of time, Darkin.
Well, he is posturing the push out now, going to get a couple more Archons more before he decides to make that attack happen. And right now, looking at DRG's base, he doesn't really have that much to defend. Focusing mainly on droning, look at the Harvester count. He has 72 drones to the 44 of Tyler. So yeah, mostly focusing on the droning, and if he gets caught off guard by this, he could do a lot of damage. Moving across the map now, going to take out that Ling. So DRG, he will be privy to this attack, and he needs to react accordingly pretty soon here.
And here we go. They are posturing to come in. He is going to go ahead and take out that Spine Crawler and move toward the natural. We could see some fireworks here. This could be the big engagement, the first engagement we've been waiting for, as DRG is now posturing his Roaches. And here we go. We are going to see it. In fact, the Guardian Shield pops up. Clutch force fields going down right now for Tyler. Tyler doing work on these Roaches, doing his very best to gain the initiative here, but I don't know. DRG flanking with more Roaches. Darkin not looking too good for Tyler.
Yeah, not at all. He is being forced back by a lot of Roaches, some flanking from the back, but he's actually doing quite a good amount of damage. Possibly going to be able to take out this natural, reinforcing with a lot of Blink Stalkers. Unfortunately, he's going to lose all their Archons, and that is the critical part of this army. And if DRG keeps reinforcing, he's going to be in pretty good shape, but it's looking close.
Yeah,
the drones are forced to be pulled right now.
Absolutely, and Tyler turning the tables back, making DRG go ahead and pull drones at this point, and just being so effective with those Stalkers. Got a lot of extra kills off on that, and DRG just going to simply not overextend, and that is such the mark of a great player, to know when to pull back and when to hit the gas. So I feel like Tyler did pretty solid damage there, but he has to make a decision now. Either he has to go for a third, or he has to continue with his push. Now I see he's chronoing actually all of his warp gates, and is going to go ahead and, it looks like, make an observer. So he's looking to hit what seems to be another 2 base timing here.
Yeah, is shaping up to be just that now. Again, I really like the move by DRG, pulling all those drones. That's the exact push he needed to get the tides to turn, and that engagement allowed him to pull ahead. Now it looks like he is posturing for another attack here. DRG going to move right into that army, but he knows he cannot make that fight. Going to be looking to stutter step back and get away from that small
and look at this
army.
burrow. However, Tyler, perfect timing out of Tyler. Liquid Tyler, great game sense. Observer on the way. Now going to be able to get a good surround on those Roaches, and those Stalkers are starting to do work on those Roaches, mixed in with those Zealots now, making a mess. Look at all the blood and carnage as each Roach goes down in a painful scream. So awesome out of Tyler.
Yeah, nice move there by Tyler, and I think that's the initiative he needs to move in, and he senses it. He's going to move in, he senses the blood in the water, and he's going to push into the base here in just a second.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it Looks like he may pull back though, and they're just going to get the Zealots in the front before he pushes in here, and this looks like it could do a ton of damage. Only a few Roaches right now out of DRG. He's getting that +2 attack upgrade for those Roaches, but right now it's going to be close. He's looking to flank again with those drones, doing a ton of damage with those as well, and looks like if he snipes that Archon, he should be in pretty good shape. He will clean that up, and it looks like it's getting close here. These Stalkers are stutter stepping back. He's going to be forced to deal with those Zealots as well, but again, the macro of DRG is impeccable, and he'll have just the right amount of units to clean this small Stalker army up. Well played by him.
Absolutely, Tyler, so good at just pouring on the pressure.
Yeah, but it's really not working out for him right now. Again, he's losing all these attacks, and this is starting to look pretty all-in. No plans of taking a third base anytime soon, while DRG establishes his fourth. He's going to have to make something happen pretty soon here, or he's going to be in big trouble. Yes. And it looks like his option will be getting down a second Robo facility, probably going to be pumping Heavy Immortal as he sees that DRG is favoring this very heavy Roach tech.
I like this decision, though. It's a good tech switch because of all of the Roaches. So Tyler responding to what he sees. He needs to go ahead and be very careful here. He needs to get Immortals out ASAP.
Absolutely, yeah. If he can get a good amount of Immortals, he should be in pretty good shape. Again, I'd say DRG is over-roaching a little bit, only focusing mainly on Roaches and Lings. We'll have to see how it works out for him, though. Looking at his natural base, he's actually quite low on drones there, so there is that as well.
Absolutely. We've got 68 supply of 100 and 142 of 194 for DRG currently.
Looks like DRG is looking to poke him, but no, he sees he cannot fight up that ramp. We'll pull right on back with those Roaches. Feeling a bit uncomfortable with that engagement. Yeah, gonna pull back there.
Okay.
He may have gotten the spot off on those Immortals, though.
Yes, I think he has. I believe he has. This was about to mention. And we see both Robos now pumping out Immortals. So he's going to have to hit with these and hit with them hard. I mean, like a hammer, because right now, DRG, DRG, taking a fourth base.
Absolutely, yeah, and look at this, DRG, he'll be dropping a Spire there, and this is the tech switch he needs, going to be dropping that down in the natural base, and Spire is going to be really good against this heavy Immortal play out of Tyler. It'll depend on the timings, though. You have to get those mutas out before this attack hits.
Yeah, I wouldn't count Tyler out of this yet, but he has got to have phenomenal Immortal control. Make sure that they don't get in any bad situations, get caught out of position, because that will cost him dearly. And actually, if I check, he never did research charge, so I wonder if that was a bit of a slip-up by Tyler.
Well, I think he was favoring more of that Blink Stalker play. Actually, no Blink, just a heavy Stalker play with those Archons. So it's a bit of a switch up by him. Again, pretty unique. Now, he looks like to be pushing out here when the 6th Immortal finishes, posturing across the map now. And this is looking kind of scary for DRG. Again, he has so many Roaches out right now, but if he gets those mutas out in time, he should be in pretty good shape.
Tyler doing something most Protosses cannot, and that's being able to remuster up a force, remuster up an army, and he's going to hit him again. Now, not taking the third base as he's all in at this point. He has got to do damage with this as he moves to the center of the map.
Yeah, he is posturing now, getting his proxy pylons up, looking to move in now, and these Spawn Crawlers will deter this momentarily. Looks like DRG will move in with all of his Lings and Roaches as he sees this attack coming, doing a ton of damage right now, and those force fields so good. All these Immortals devastating the Roaches of DRG right now.
Absolutely, and look at this, splitting the Immortals up. One taking the flank, some taking the front, now all concentrating on the back. Another Immortal coming in from the top. Stalkers trying to do work. Immortals doing work. Such a marvelous unit for this composition. Great tech switch by Tyler. Look at this. Cleaning up all of these Roaches. These Immortals just doing damage right now.
Absolutely, yeah, but he's so low on the anti-air right now. Only 2 Stalkers and 17 mutas are on the way. The mutas are about to come out here in just a second in the production tab.
Immortals, though, Darkin, they're all up in his chili, man. They're all up in his mix, just doing work once again on that expansion. And is he going to get this natural? He does. He takes out the natural.
Yeah, but here come the mutas flanking on top of this army, and really, again, there's not that much anti-air right now. A few Stalkers and the Archon will come in, but they'll be quickly taken out by all those mutas. So many of his units are falling right now, and he has no response. It's looking really bad right now.
Look at the great multitasking, though. Look at the great multitasking out of Tyler, as he is going to be able to probably work on this Spire. May work it, and yes, he does. He, in fact, is going to be able to snipe that. And he was also microing his Stalkers at the same time previously, trying to engage those mutas, but I'm worried about the size of that muta cloud, Darkin.
Yeah, the muta cloud is just getting bigger and bigger and slowly taking out this army. It looks like he will clean that up, so nice by him. And this is really no response right now out of Tyler. He's looking to be in really bad shape here as this muta army moves across the map.
Yeah, simply the 2 base all in. He inflicted a ton of damage there, but just not enough.
He will be moving in here with all the mutas, and really, again, no response out of this. He only has a few Stalkers and an Archon, and I just think this is too many mutas for Tyler to deal with. Also, a lot of Lings posturing on the map to move in, looking for the timing there. The Archon actually moving outside of the base. Bit of a mistake there by Tyler trying to catch these Mutas out of position, but I think he just does not have enough stuff. Again, those 2 base attacks pretty all in out of him, and he just has no response right now to this great tech switch by DRG.
Yeah, so we see another phenomenal tech switch. Both players so great in their decision making. And right now, that Mutacloud coming back in and is going to start doing work on this pylon. And as you can see, he's recaptured the initiative here. And now moving over, this is not what I would consider an Artosis pylon, as there are 2, but he's going to be able to take both down, and looks like he will be able to be...
So many gates will be unpowered, and all really
lights.
Tyler has left right now is this army. And really, I feel like that DRG has enough to deal with this as Tyler postures to move in here.
Absolutely, Darkin. I didn't mean to talk over you there, but no pun intended. Once again, that is going to be lights out for Tyler. Quite literally, as you can see, all that stuff powered down.
Yeah, it looks like it will be it for Tyler, realizing he cannot win that fight. Actually pulling all of his probes, snaking them a bit, but he knows he cannot come back after that fantastic tech switch and fantastic hold by DRG. Gonna GG out of that game. So again, DRG will take this series 2-0. Well played by him.
Yeah, very well played by Tyler. So unfortunately for Tyler, I do check his Twitter quite often, and he was not able to go ahead and ride the phenomenal Star Wars ride over at Disneyland, and then Space Mountain broke on him, and then he loses to DRG. So having
not the best weekend for him.
Not a best weekend for him, but you know what? Always going to be one of my favorite players. And hats off to DRG, man, just showcasing what he's becoming famous for, which is impeccable decision making and macro, just so
and his
so
macro so impeccable, and that's really what he needed to hold those attacks. So I cannot be more impressed by DRG right now, and there's no wonder why he is one of the top Korean Zergs right now.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So you know what? Before we sign off, I do have to send a major shout out. All of the obsing done by these games has been done by Newbie McNoob. He is one of the best in the business, and he makes the casting sound good because he does this wonderful, wonderful job obsing. So shouts out to Newbie McNoob.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he also handles the post-production as well. So big shouts out to him. And of course, Darkin, thank you so very much for co-casting. It's been a ball. Any shout outs for you?
Not at all, but I have to say it has been a fantastic time casting these replays with you. I really enjoyed it, and I hope to do more of this kind of thing in the future.
Sounds good to me. So you guys enjoyed it. I'm Tumba.
I'm Dark and Light.
Thanks for watching MLG TV.
See ya.